Alright, first off, Jonathan Mendez asked for a shout out for whenever he gets famous one day. So there's your shout out, Jonathan. Mr. Mendez. Second off, I'm trying to not make this video super long. Feel like it's gonna be, so that's a warning. But today's topic is gonna be the legalization of marijuana, since that's pressing, technically political, probably not gonna get me in trouble. Anything that they have a problem with when I go to the recruiting station, I'll take it down. Oh well. I'll milk it for what it's worth while it's up. But we're going to be talking about the legalization of marijuana. So, go ahead and start it off. This is something people have been talking about legalizing for years. As of course everyone knows, it's something every teenager dreams of for some reason. I'm not a big fan of drugs. Sorry, I was trying to plug my charger up. But I am a big fan of tax dollars. And if there's one thing you can't argue with, is the money that Colorado has made off the legalization of recreational marijuana. I mean, and to me what tax money means is better schools, better police force, and better roads. Those are things that Aaron likes, because I don't like having shitty teachers. I don't like having cops that barely know their own laws, and the laws that they're trying to uphold, and I don't like riding down streets that make me want to fly out of the fucking bus seat. Anyway, we're going to talk about it from a standpoint on why people think that people are still going to sell drug. I've heard people say that they're like, well, if they legalize marijuana, people are still going to sell it and kill each other over it. You see, but the thing is, they're fucking not. Because in California, when it was legalized medically, people learned real quick, gang members learned real quick that for the most part, the market fucking died real quick. Because if you have medical insurance, I'm assuming it's covered by medical insurance, but this isn't something I read by a gang member. He was interviewed and this is what he said. We can't make money off of it anymore because someone can just go to the street with a card saying that it's their medicine and take it and get it. Like that, no hassle, no driving to the dangerous part of town, no possibly getting robbed. Yeah. There's a point to where the government capitalized on marijuana in California, and gang members can't compete because they can't sell it for cheap enough. They might be sell it to some bummy crackheads every now and again, but it's not enough to keep it around. That's what the guy said. He said the only way we're making money now is off actual dope. And apparently, according to him, that people are not as many people are dumb enough to just straight buy dope and start doing dope because they can't buy weed illegally anymore. High school kids can get it kind of like how they can get cigarettes now. So, yeah, their market died. Gang members like money. They don't like selling weed just for fucking fun. Another example of this is, I live in Arkansas and we're not too far away from Colorado. We're far enough away to where I wouldn't want to do it, but people that sell drugs, apparently they don't have a fucking problem with it. Now, I've grown up around people of ill repute. That's where my friends were, and that's who they grew up to be. I cut them out of my life for reasons because I don't want to get tied up in that shit. But I still see them from time to time. We sit, we talk for a couple hours and part ways, and we probably don't see each other again for a few months. But this is pretty much how I was explaining to one of my friends that sell drugs here. It was just as easy for him as getting on Facebook and meeting someone in Colorado, just meeting a friend online, driving halfway and meeting each other, and someone who is buying medical marijuana, by just buying marijuana there, because it's cheap enough to where he buys so much a month, and he sold it to this guy for just like $100 more than what he bought, how much he bought for. And then my friend, well, what was friend, I mean, I guess we're cool now. Like if someone tries to kill him, I guess I'll try to hide him. You know, it's that kind of friendship now. But or I'm not going to his house and playing PlayStation every day like I used to. But he's coming here, but he's not being able to sell that amount for how much he used to be able to sell it to, because believe it or not, people that sell drugs aren't really that dumb. They all learned pretty quick that if you can get a hookup like that, that's easy. Now the thing is, and this is, selling drugs is a lot like a free market. It's not regulated by the government. Like a free market isn't really regulated by the government. So, one guy, let's say he gets back and he buys $300 worth of drugs. He sells it for $600. There's a lot of other guys in town that do the same thing. So they're all selling significantly cheaper than what they were before. Let's say that $400, they used to be able to make $1,000, and now they're making $600 off of it. That means $200 profit instead of $400 profit. I mean, shit, $600 profit. Big difference, big difference. That means they're making significantly less money, correct? That means, well, let's just say for the moment that drug-related crimes don't exist and they're not going to kill each other over money. Let's say that for this conversation. Now, let's say we actually do have 2 supermarkets in town, so in my small town, so that'll work. We have Knights, which is I don't know if they have Knights anywhere else. I think they actually only had 3 Knights, but one of them closed because of Walmart. We have a Walmart in town. We got it a couple years ago. And Knights has been on a fucking downfall since then. Knights is a grocery store. Knights is going to close in the next 5 years because they cannot compete with Walmart. They cannot compete with those prices. So they're going to close down. It sucks. I mean, if it's locally run and it sucks, and that means there's going to be a little less jobs. It sucks, but that's how the free market works. Now, so let's say that I start selling drugs and I start deciding I don't care if I'm only pulling just enough profit to have the gas to go buy more. Because I know, knowing how this kind of shit works, is I will eventually close the other drug dealers out of business. That means if I'm only selling it, let's say I bought it for $400 and I'm only selling it for $480 or $500, I'm undercutting the shit out of everyone else. They can't, let's say that I already have a job, I'm just doing this shit for fun, just to close everyone else out. And then I can capitalize and sell it for however the fuck how much I want, and people will have to buy it or they'll go without. That's how shit works. So eventually, he'll try to compete, and his prices will drop. Everyone else's prices will drop, but the thing is these guys do it as a job, so they can't afford to sell it as cheap as I am, and like I said, let's say for a minute they aren't going to fucking kill me over drug money and territory. Eventually they will have to stop. They will have to find a new way to make money. They will find a new drug, or they will stop selling drugs. So, like I said, that's how the market works. So, when you legalize drugs, people aren't going to sell them. Even if they legalized it in Louisiana or Texas, you know, that'd be fucking worse. They'd be making even less money, and it'd be damn near so cheap to get it that it wouldn't be worth selling in most parts of Arkansas anymore. That's how it works. Sure as shit wouldn't be worth selling if you... Maybe, let's say someone grows this shit in their backwoods. They can afford to still sell it pretty fucking cheap because they're not having to buy it. They're their own plug. They're their own distributor. Like Sam's Club, they just got the shit straight out of the fucking thing out of the factory. I mean, they still gotta buy it, but you know what I mean. They can afford to try to undercut some other dealers and, you know, this and that. They can afford to stay open. The same reason, you know, Walmart sells cigarettes, but we still have cigarettes in town, cigarette tobacco stores that are still going to stay open because they can somewhat compete. I don't know how, but they can. But other large things can't. That means there's going to be small fish that will survive and still sell drugs, but there will be a big fish, the big fish being the government. If the government well, not the government, like I said, we live in a free market, but, well, I guess... Unless it's strict, unless it's recreational like California, then you would need to be like a pharmacist or some shit like that to sell weed. So there's that. And I don't really give a shit if it's legalized recreational. I don't care. It doesn't affect me if it is or isn't. But here's the kicker for me. Here's what I see that we're missing out on a large market. Now, it's not too big of a secret, it's not crazy to people anymore that you can make just about anything with weed. This house I'm living in can just about be entirely made from marijuana. From the bed I'm sitting on, to the shirt I'm wearing, to the shampoo I use, to the walls around me, to the little plastic bag in my trash can over there, to my little bitty trash can, to the water bottle in it, to the empty water bottle of water in it, you can make anything out of it. Just short of glass and metal. I think you can make ceramic out of it too. So I think you can make the toilets and shit in the house with it too. That's industrial marijuana. Now that's what I think we should be doing. Because if you can build a house for significantly cheaper than you can out of timber, then why are we not capitalizing on that market? Especially if you can't, apparently you can't smoke industrial marijuana, or it'd be a lot like smoking grass. Literal fucking grass. Or trying to smoke your blue jeans. It's just not gonna fucking work. If you smoked enough, you might find something in there, but you'd probably die of lung cancer before you can manage to get high. So, the thing is, as everyone knows in America, we do have a homeless problem. We have a problem with veterans being homeless, and that's a horrible fucking thing to me. Now, here's the thing. Who works harder than a veteran? That's right, not a goddamn soul. No one works harder than someone who's has that military discipline in them. So here's what I think. I think we should open up farms from the government. Now, I know it's a free market, and of course people will be free to open their own farms, but I think the government should open some to get this thing rolling. It's, you know, some government assistance. I believe in government assistance to a degree. Try to hire exclusively homeless veterans who are on a downfall. Now, with that being said, once you have that, start building low-income housing for really fucking cheap out of the shit, and start selling it to the veterans for dirt cheap. It seems simple enough. I'm sure there's bigger pictures and statistics that I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a politician, I can't crunch those numbers and find out, oh, well, it wouldn't work because of this, this, and this. This is my common sense. This is what my common sense and me not being able to sleep at night, and this is the kind of shit that I think of. If we can fix... Alright, let's say we can just stomp the homeless problem with that. Stomp some unemployment problems with that. I mean, people, I know they don't want to work on farms. That's the reason that, you know, illegal immigration is a problem, is because illegal immigrants, for the most part, work the jobs that I wouldn't want to fucking work. I don't want to pick fruit all day. I don't want to be a fucking farmer. Well, I want to own a farm one day, but I want like an animal farm, not like plants and shit. That'd fucking suck. You just look at plants all day. I can pet cows and shit and just live Humpty Dumpty in my old age and not give a shit about anything and hunt deer and fish and pet cows all day. That'll be fine. Like I said, I'll be a small fish and I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as I can sustain me and my old ass wife. My old ass self and my old ass wife. I'll be fucking happy. Or my old ass dog if I end up never finding anyone that loves me, which is very possible. But if you can quail our homeless problem, tackle some of our unemployment, and tackle our homeless veterans and unemployed veterans, which is a huge fucking problem, help get some people back on their feet, maybe put some people through college with it, maybe open charter schools and shit like that, and well, maybe we can make like a charter version of a college and send people there for really fucking cheap, a little cheaper than community college. I'm sure someone would see some sort of money in that and probably try to do it. They open charter schools in Harlem and it's working fucking fantastic. It's great. I mean, people complain that not all kids in Harlem can go to the charter schools, but here's the great thing about the free market. Since there's still a significant amount of kids that want to go to charter school and can't, guess what? You open another fucking charter school and make more money. Because of capitalism. That's fucking right. Money. It's about the motherfucking money! Now, anyway. Now, if you can do that, you can start quelling these problems, then commercial farmers start doing it. I don't know if commercial farming was the word I'm looking for, but I feel like it is, kinda. Might be wrong. I think I used that term wrong. Oh well if I did. That means Jim Bob down the fucking highway down here towards McRae can start selling his own marijuana. And then he starts selling as a small fish, just like the small fishes sell to some of the smaller fish farms sell to the Knights in the Walmart around here. And if you tried to run the scanner through a dieting app, it's not going to exist because it's local produce. they're not stamping it quite right. At least with nights, because my grandmother still tries to buy at nights because she wants to support local businesses, and you should too. Support American this and that. Walmart's American, but that's not the fucking point, you know what I mean. Support small businesses. It's important to try to keep some of the small fish about, because you don't want to let Walmart have all the control, because then they can do what the fuck they want to prices. But those tobacco stores and the dollar store selling bread, milk, and eggs for a certain price is going to keep them somewhat in check. Anyway, Billy Jim Bob starts doing it what the fuck he wants, and so does his 700 fucking cousins across Arkansas. You have your small fish, and then you got your big fish. Eventually, the farms get sold. The government-owned farms. Eventually, they should get sold off. They should be auctioned off. Now, anyway, where was I at? They get auctioned off. I feel like we could solve a lot of problems through that. And then we're clothing people for fairly cheap. And you can use, you know, well, never mind, EBT cards are just for food, but you know what I mean, like shit like that. Like cheap clothing for people to wear. And you know, Quill's like, oh, my kids don't got no diapers. Guess what? You can make diapers out of shit. Like I said, anything but glass and fucking metal, it can be done to just fuck this whole thing up. Because I let that go into like 17 minutes. And that might have fucked me up. Because it doesn't like to load right if I go over 15. Anyway, this shit's getting long anyway. And I feel like I've said just about all I had to do. It's going to kill gang members selling it, pretty much. No, not kill the gang members selling it, but it's going to kill their market. Corner the market on it. Capitalism, who fucking raw, we win. Homeless problem, veteran problem, unemployment problem, and we'd probably have enough left over that where if we could probably take in some refugees from those countries where children are getting fucking bombed to shit. And that's something I'd like to see, because I don't like seeing someone in need getting turned away. It's me. If I got money in my pocket that I can spare, guess who I'm giving it? And a homeless guy asks for money, and he's getting the fucking money. I mean, some people say, well, what if he buys drugs or alcohol with it? Well, that's his fucking decision. I gave him money. He could have bought a sandwich with it, and that's what I choose to think that he's going to do. That's why I probably can never be rich one day, because I'm going to end up giving all my fucking money away to try to help people. Because I'm dumb. But I can't help it. I can't see other people struggle to a point to where it hurts. That hurts me. And that's why homeless veterans, it's not just homeless veterans, it's just homeless people in general is a problem for me. That pisses me off that that's a thing in one of the top 20 greatest countries in the fucking world. And I'm saying top 20 because we're starting to fall, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know if you guys knew that. Not falling as a nation, as when we're going to turn into absolute fucking dust. But we're falling off the goddamn leaderboards. Now, we got good fucking Olympians. We proved that this week, these last couple weeks, ladies and gentlemen. We got damn fine Olympians. But the sad thing is one of the few things, there's only a few things America's leading in anymore. We're leading in pollution, obesity, Christians per capita, and did I say pollution? I believe I did. Pollution, obesity, Christians, and what's that other thing? Oh, military power. We have one of the largest militaries. So we got 1 out of 4 good things. Not to say Christians are bad, but Christians aren't necessarily productive. And I don't want to say like Christians are lazy. That's not what I mean. I mean, it doesn't matter that we have more Christians. Oh fucking well. I don't give a shit. No one else gives a shit. Because you don't know why? Because Sweden's got more fucking money. Japan's making more fucking electronics, and China's got more fucking industry shit. They're making all sorts of Game Boys and TVs. I own a fucking Sony TV. That shows how much of a shitbag I am. I think Sony's Japanese, though. But you know what I mean. Damn it, we're not leading in the things that matter. We're not leading in automobiles. We're not leading in this. We're not leading in the important shit. I don't even know if... I know the auto industry pretty much shut down here. So I'm pretty sure that Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Ford and Dodge and all those don't fucking make their cars over in America anymore. I'm pretty sure they've outsourced that to somewhere. So, this is something that we can lead in, and that's something that we can be a global leader in again. Now, Ireland beat us to marriage equality. Don't let another country beat us to cornering the market for a little while, at least, on marijuana. Because like I said, this whole fucking house can be done a lot fucking cheaper. And you know what cheap means? More money. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. Call your congressman. Ask them about it. I don't know if you all know that, but that's something that you hold the right as an American. I'm 18. If I want to know some shit about my little guy in office here in Arkansas, want to know what he's doing and things that I give a shit about, I'll pick up the phone and call his ass. You know what? He has to answer. That's his fucking job. He listens to us. We're paying his fucking paycheck. Sorry, I have ghosts in my house, and they like to open my door when it's locked and fully shut and turn my lights off and my fan off whenever I go to the bathroom for 30 seconds. Oh well, she's a dumb bitch, and I fucking hate her. And she can't do anything about it, because she knows I will start whooping ass. So all she can do is do this little tidbit shit to piss me off all the fucking time. Not to say it's not annoying, and not to say I don't get the occasional tap on the back from her, but I don't give a shit. She's a whore, and she can fuck off. This is my house, and she's not paying rent, and she can quit turning off my shit, so she doesn't have to worry about the electric bill. Electric bill. Anyway, like I said, videos coming along. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends so we can get more subscribers, so there's more people asking videos, and I have more shit to talk about, and I'm not just randomly pulling stuff out of my ass and deciding to do a video on it 10 minutes later, like I did with this. Because my grandpa brought it up, something about illegal gangs and this and that, and it sparked into me coming up here and making a video after having a discussion with them about it. Having a pre-game discussion helped me organize my thoughts, so this wasn't a 40-minute video. Well, it's still going to be like 20 minutes, and that's still a problem. I still want to get... I need to write shit down and have like a checklist, but I'm too lazy to do that. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, comment what you would like to hear me talk about next. And as always, stay lit, ladies and gentlemen of the universe.